head start.
But also the one of the greatest thing about YouTube is also having control over the desire of popularity. I know many people that have YouTube channels, Instagram, and etc. They're always checking about how many views they have, what is their growth. I do believe, and I'm a big believer, that growth will come once all the hard work is put in, and it's all about the quality of work. The quality of work will always transcend into time because its value cannot be taken away. And although I check the analytics perhaps maybe once a week, I'm not disturbed by the fact that if we got too many views or we have all these amounts of subscribers. I celebrate each victory. And even if it's just one viewer, that means that we impact one person, and that person hopefully took the very best out of the material we put out. And that to me is a victory. I try to have gratitude towards everything that comes in. And sometimes it's hard because in our mind, we always have a higher expectation, but also we have to have our feet planted on the ground and be realistic. Ethics Still podcast just started probably about 8 months ago. I can't compare myself to Lex Fridman, Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan. They have been very successful in YouTube, but they also started longer than I have. And they have a different path of life that I have. They have a different community they are surrounded by as well, different resources. So to me, comparing myself to those channels is very unhelpful. But I am happy to just be in front of the camera and being as real as I can be with you guys. And tolerate the fact that this is not just about growth, but this is about expression. This is about being myself and leaving behind a piece of me in a digital screen. One day when I'm not around anymore and my kids look back, they can find a piece of me in here. And I think that's also YouTube. To me, what YouTube does very well is that you're able to leave something behind that can be very useful for someone at some moment during their time. There's so many messages, and the same way there's good information, there's also misinformation. Hopefully our kids and those that are younger and even adults can dissect better the information of what is true and what is not, and also understand that all this information is there and it's available through different YouTube channels to support whatever you're going through. At the Ethics Go podcast, what we try to do always is not only share stories to inspire others, but also how do we relate to one another in our walk of life? And also, one thing I noticed through just living is it's not a problem until it becomes yours. But the question is, how can we prevent problems from happening? So also this YouTube channel can serve for that purpose, can serve to try to prevent certain things and certain paths that are so painful in your life that just if we're wise enough to open our ears and our hearts and our eyes, we're able to say, like, I can avoid this pain because I not only listened to the testimony of somebody else that been through it, but also the advice came on time because I decided to choose that topic at that particular channel to learn that particular topic. This is why I'm so committed to being on this screen. Not only to share my own experiences and to have others share their experiences, but I wish we can grow together as a community and grow together to really create something better, not only for ourselves, but for the future generations. We do live in a world where individualism is the new setting, and immediate gratification is also something that is on the highest demand. But nothing good comes without its trials and tribulations. Through suffering. Suffering is not a bad thing. And if you're a small YouTube channel, you understand this very well. You fight for every subscriber, for every viewer. You post as much as you can, not only to get the views, but also to feel that what you say matters to someone. And the way I view it is, if it matters to me, hopefully that experience acquired through my walk of life, through my professional etiquette, through my work experiences, through my school experience as well, is that it serves you well. When the Ethics Skill podcast was created, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know what niche it was. Was it psychology? Was it leadership? Was it mindset? Was it mental health? But the beauty of it is as you go through it, you start finding what is your niche, and you start feeling and understanding the path you're taking episode through episode. You start learning more about not only yourself, but through the YouTube channel that you're putting out and the information. And what do you really care about? What is it that really promotes this inspiration to want to express and expose yourself and what you know? And I cannot be more thankful to have this platform, which I wish to grow with you, to become one with you, and that nobody's except from being a guest at the Ethics Go podcast. And the reason being is because every life is precious. Everyone should be dignified and should feel that they live with dignity. And this is what one of the things we promote here is that your life matters. Your life is important. And why not share it if it can change somebody else's life? So being a small YouTube channel, again, has brought big changes, big evolutions, and has definitely constructed a better version of myself. And I hope it does this to you as well. There's nothing wrong with being small. And remember that big things have small beginning, but also growing slow, you learn all the tricks on the tracks. And that's what, hopefully, when we grow big, we don't want to forget about those that made us big. We don't want to forget that the reason why we became big was because of the normal Joes that watch this show. And you will always be a guest in our house. No matter what, your story matters as much as the superstars in the world that perhaps have told their stories to already so many podcasts that we might know the stories by memory at this point. But who knows your story? The story of your survival, of your life, of your resilience, of you overcoming challenges. And how did you help another person to overcome their challenges? If you're that single mom that have put their kids through college, working 2 to 3 jobs, and then going to school, aren't those stories worthy? As worthy as having a Hollywood star share their story about their success. And how we measure success is also very biased, because just because the success is measured by the class that you belong in doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that it's less or more important. What's really relevant is how much sacrifice and love you gave in, not only to change your life, but to change others people's life. And when we live with that conviction that everyone deserves to live with dignity, then we make the right sacrifices and we challenge ourselves, not only to take adversity, but to also challenge others to grow with us. That's what real leadership is about. But more importantly, this is the kind of love we need to promote in our YouTube channels. And again, everyone has their own bias, their own niche, but hopefully everyone has that intention of construction, that intention that a YouTube channel can be not only a job, but also it can be a life-changing moment for someone else. And again, that's what we want to do at the Ethics Go podcast. But more importantly, leave us your suggestion. What topic would you like for me to talk at the Ethics Go podcast? What kind of guests would you want at the Ethics Go podcast? Do you want to be a guest in our podcast? And feel free to subscribe. Feel free to leave your comment, give it a like. And here we're not judgmental about any of the topics. As a matter of fact, if you want to be a guest at the Ethics Go podcast, you're the one selecting the topic. We're just there to make you shine. That's our commitment. So being a YouTube channel and learning from it, the journey that I've been through the Ethics Go podcast has been a lot of nights of editing, a lot of nights of learning, a lot of nights of asking questions, a lot of nights of finding the proper guests, but also understanding that this needs to serve a bigger good, not only for myself, but also for our viewers. And don't forget something that I will always reiterate, don't forget your value. Every person is valuable, no matter the walk of in your life. No matter your class, your status, your origin, age, we all deserve dignity. We all deserve feeling and being loved. And I hope that the journey that I've been through, the Ethics Go podcast, serves that purpose. Serves the purpose to not only inspire and to motivate, but also something that you can learn and be curious about yourself. And there are certain things we have to unlearn to learn better things. Leave behind what is not useful anymore. That's exactly what happens when you have a small YouTube channel. You're constantly adapting to new things. You're constantly leaving behind things that don't serve you well and replacing it for things that are going to serve you for a certain purpose. And that's just evolution, and evolution is inevitable. So our journey, or I would say my journey through Ethics Field Podcast, has been a lot of work, but at the end, the biggest win is having you on the other side. Thank you. And don't forget, every subscription is going to help us do more pro bono work for mental health. We'll see you next time. Thank you.